Welcome, everybody, to Taste Every Gaming News. What's in the news today? EA cancels another game and has some more layoffs. All right, before we jump into it, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, notifications, all those good buttons that help keep up with us on all the cool things we like, video games. All right, here we go. EA has canceled another incubation project at Respawn Entertainment and simultaneously laid off a number of individuals across its incubation. Don't know why they call it that. Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi teams. Excuse me. In a post today from the studio, Respawn announced it has made the decision to step away from two early stage incubation projects and make some targeted team adjustments. Business speak for, we screwed up and people got to go. Apex Legends and Star Wars Jedi, one of these canceled incubation projects is the same one already reported on back in March. The other Bloomberg reports was an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe, codenamed R7. These decisions, I can't even talk today, aren't easy, and we are deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today, the post continued. We're offering meaningful support to those impacted, including exploring new opportunities within EA. IGN understands that roughly 100 individuals are affected by the changes, including a mix of developers, publishers, and QA workers on Apex Legends, as well as a small group of individuals on the Jedi team and on the incubation projects. So, man, another round of people losing jobs. It's horrible. It really is horrible. So the game that in the Titanfall universe is the one that really kind of upsets me, codenamed R7. I don't know about being the extraction shooter that makes me feel a little bit better about it because there's 1,000 of those. And Titanfall is a great franchise, especially the second one. Specifically, I should say the second one. But, they could have probably done something really nice, really beautiful with that world with an extraction shooter. But now we're just not going to get it. We're not even going to know. We're not going to have an inkling of an ideal. What's going to happen here. I don't know how well Titanfall is still doing, or not Titanfall, excuse me. Apex Legends is still doing. I haven't picked that up in forever and a day. So, is it an overall thing? Is it just,
Last
what
I heard is
these?
Apex Legends wasn't doing
declining
so high. It was declining pretty badly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, damn, that sucks. But, EA is working on an Iron Man game, the new Battlefield. So hopefully they can bring some of those people over to those development teams and, keep them employed. That's my biggest concern people wise is, I hate to see anybody lose a job, especially in the gaming industry, because those jobs are generally driven by passion. And it's hard to see people get crapped on trying to do something they're passionate about. So. But Pat, what do you think? I mean, I know you didn't. Did you ever play Titanfall 2 or 1?
Yes, I played them. I think we played 2 together. Some of the PvP stuff.
Yes, we did. That's right.
Yeah. This is what happens when you put all your eggs in the live service basket.
Damn basket.
I mean, that's what they're doing, right? They are they're trying to revive Apex Legends is what they're trying to do. I mean, it still has a healthy 200. I think it has 150 to 200,000 active player base. I think, I just hopped on Steam charts real quick. They have 97,000 people playing right now with a 24-hour peak of 171 to 171. So, I mean, there are people still out there playing, but then that's why they're trying to work on Apex Legends 2.0. And it's, it is what it is. To each their own. If you enjoy these games, more power to you. And a lot of the gaming developers are catering to those gamers these days, and we're getting less and less stuff like Expedition 33. less stuff that I can enjoy on my own or with friends that isn't PvP. I don't want another extraction shooter that's PvP. Everything seems to be PvE these days when it comes to this type of stuff. And I don't want that. And so I don't typically play that. We don't typically play that. Sometimes these guys will rope me into it if they really want to play something, we'll try it. But it never usually pans out very well. Like I just, and part of that is that we're not young anymore, right? I mean, we're in our 40s and 50s right now. So we're not spring chickens who want to play this on trigger, Twitch games anymore. I don't mind sometimes, but it just feels like anytime we play anymore, it just becomes a giant mosh pit shot from nowhere. You're like, I have no clue where that came from, and you're dead. It's like, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy playing for 30 minutes to 45 minutes to try to get out with my loot and then get killed at the very end by somebody and lose everything and come out of a 40 minute match with nothing because you got killed at the very end by somebody camping the exit or something. I don't enjoy that. I don't want, and so typically I try not to play that stuff. If I want to play something where I just get decimated, it's just going to be a first person shooter, like, maps, where I don't got to worry about extracting with anything. But like I said, it seems to be the newfangled hotness in some of this stuff. But live service games, in my opinion, your market saturated. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to come out with something that's going to do better than you. I'm just surprised nothing come out that's dethroned, the big dog out there yet. So they've been stuck on the top for way too long. And Fortnite is what I'm talking about. If you haven't guessed, Fortnite is on top for way too long. I'm surprised nothing's dethroned them yet, in my opinion. I'm surprised. I noticed
they've tried.
I've tried. There's enough people who have tried. There's enough people who made a game that closed day one or week one or less, right? I mean, it sounds like EA decided to shut one down before it even came out. So, because they saw what happened to, what was it? Who was the other one? The Ubisoft. They saw what happened to Ubisoft. Concord, right? Who made the Concord one?
Yeah, Concord. That was Firewalk. They got closed down.
Yeah. Like a week. All right, we're closing this. It didn't do very well, and so maybe EA
closed
saw
the game and the studio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe EA sees the writing on the wall. It's like, this isn't sustainable. We've got one, Apex Legends. So we're trying to make another one. We're trying to make more live service games. It's just, we've said it before. There's only so many players playing these games, and it's like you're stealing from somebody else to make if your game is good enough to steal from other player bases, good on you. But the majority of them are not. The majority of them fail pretty hard too sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So I can't get behind these games typically, and I really can't get an extraction shooter that's PvE. I really have a hard time getting behind. Just because, like I said, I just cannot stand that steamroll of 30 to 40 minutes of some fun just to get all your stuff stolen at the end. I don't mind if it's strictly PvE extraction shooters, but the PvE thing just gets to me. That's just my opinion. I don't play it. So I don't know. I know that EA's got that Star Wars game that's coming out next year. That tactical squad-based game like XCOM. That one looks interesting. I'm looking forward to that. And I think there's another Star Wars game in the works that not much detail's been released, or if any. And who knows what other incubation topics are being scrubbed that we don't know about that EA's been working on. It sucks that people are losing their jobs, especially in the gaming industry right now, because I mean, it's just been a downhill battle for them, or an uphill battle, for them for the last couple of years. And it seems like some studios are still fighting that. But when you have this coalescing of studios into just a few big dog companies, this is bound to happen, right? Because they don't care about these studios. They care about money. When EA and Microsoft and Ubisoft and all these other companies start buying up other companies, and then, that one company makes one small slip up, they're shut to the doors, and all those people lose their jobs. And, whether if the company was still solo, they'd be like, hey, we can weather this. And if we believe in our game that we're developing, we can come out strong. But these large corporate conglomerations are just like, no, we can't have that little red mark on our book. So sorry, see ya. They don't care. You're just are you in the black or are you in the red for us? If you're in the red, see ya. If you're in the black, but only slightly, see ya. If you're not making us buku bucks, then we don't want you, right? That's what they're doing. They're like, we're going to sell you off or shut you down. And more often than not, shut you down.
Yep.
So it sucks to hear about people losing their jobs always, and no matter where it's at. It's just a horrible feeling when it's happening to you. It's horrible watching it and seeing how these companies treat people, because especially just upended people's lives that were, some of them probably been there forever, for a long time. Who knows? And who knows if they take care of any of these people? Are they just shoving them out the door? Are they giving them some severance or what's going on? Hopefully they're giving them some severance, giving them a little bit of breathing room to find something new, because they're just shoving them out the door with don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. And that's horrible, but I wouldn't put it past EA to do that.
Yeah. They are giving them 1,500 V-Bucks.
I can tell you what they can do with those V-Bucks. I'm sure the people
they would give them Apex coins, right?
Apex coins, yeah.
whatever their
premium currency is. But you can't get a free copy of it. You got to buy that game. No free copy. I don't know if Apex Legends is free or not. I think it's free, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I hate to see people lose their jobs always, but EA and some of these large companies just make they just trip over themselves all the time trying to make the next Fortnite game. And it's like, don't do that. Make something original that's not live service. The last few years should be proof in the pudding that people will play this stuff. I mean, we just got done playing Expedition 33. We had Baldur's Gate 3. Just so many games coming out like that, and people are eating it up. They're so tired of this live service garbage. They're just looking for anything to grasp onto that's decent.
Yep.
And raving about it, so I don't know. Nick, what do you think, man? What do you think about all this? Unnamed incubation projects, Apex Legends, they're putting all their money in the Apex Legends basket.
Yeah. I mean, you made the point that I was going to make about putting all their eggs into the live service basket, right? I mean, a lot of these big companies are doing that. And when one fails, they'll just build another one, right? They're just building them over and over until one succeeds. I mean, Ubisoft had X Defiant that failed, and then they closed that down. And I read recently that they're working on another battle royale game. That would be like this will be like the third or fourth one that they've created. Because before X Defiant, they had another battle royale game that closed down. I can't remember the name of that one. And then they had X Defiant, and I think they might have had something else. But now this will be like the third or fourth battle royale game that they're making. That, again, and you're taking a lot of your really talented developers and putting them on. Like, Respawn's a great company, and yes, they do make other things from time to time, but they have a big portion of their team seems to be stuck on Apex. And that's the thing I hate about these live service games is you take a company just think about Rocksteady. If Suicide Squad would have done moderately well for them, that's the only thing Rocksteady would be working on for the next 20 years, right? We would never see another Batman game or Superman game or any other game from them. Mm-mm. It would just be content for that. The same thing with like Bungie, right? We haven't seen anything new from Bungie. I mean, now they're making Marathon, which is just like basic a remake or whatever. And I looked at Marathon, watched some of the gameplay video, and it's like Destiny, just the PvP portion, right? I mean, it doesn't look good, right? I'm sure the gunplay will be pretty good because Bungie's really good at that. But I mean, again, it's another game we've already played. And a lot of, like Pat was saying, a lot of people don't want to do that. Square Enix said turn-based combat was dead. Well, we have a game that tells you turn-based combat is not dead, and a lot of people really seem to enjoy it. So a lot of these big companies just have the wrong idea. They're making and it really, it's more saddens me than anything, is they're making games for profit and not for to me, gaming is an art form, right? It's an art, and creating something, a really cool game is like a piece of art, like someone creating a sculpture or a painting or something like that you can show off, and your creativity and things like that. And that's why you get games like Expedition 33, and we'll talk about that one because it's just, it's recent. But like games like that are, you can tell how much love and passion went into that project for this developer, right?
It wasn't team development.
It wasn't created. Yeah. It was a smaller development group than most of them. And it wasn't created to make a lot of, it wasn't created to be like this blockbuster that's going to bring in a lot of money, right? Or they're going to sit there and live service the crap out of it until they bleed it dry. They created it, you can tell that they created it because they wanted to craft a beautiful game with a beautiful story and things like that, right? They just wanted to make something good. And they did, and same thing with like Baldur's Gate 3 or all these other games that we got from other developers, that you can tell there was a lot of passion in the project. But when you get games like Apex Legends, which is a fine battle royale game, or Fortnite, or any of these other games that come out, these extraction shooters and various things like that, you can tell that they're just crafted to bleed the consumer dry, basically, right? And you are saturating the market, exactly what you're saying. You can't, it's like an MMO, right? If you are playing World of Warcraft and you've been playing World of Warcraft for years, and some other company comes out with an MMO, you're not going to switch off of World of Warcraft to start playing that, right? You're going to keep playing World of Warcraft. That's why people still play World of Warcraft today that played it when it first came out and not have played any other MMO since then, right? It's because they've invested all this time and money into it. So it's hard to get people to jump ship from something they've been playing to something else, especially a live service game. So you can't flood the market with a bunch of live services hoping that the Fortnite group or the Apex Legends group is going to just be like, oh, a new one, the new shiny, I'm going to go over here. No, they're going to stay with what they have because they've spent so much money in it already. They've invested so much time in it. They're not going, they might try out your game, sure, but they're not going to stick with it, right? They're going to go back to playing Apex or back to playing Fortnite or whatever the case may be. So I hate that. It sucks for the developers and stuff that got laid off, but I hate these big companies that just have the wrong mindset for a lot of the games they make, right? They don't make it for that passion of crafting some piece of art. And wanting to show the world this awesome, beautiful game, this thing that they've crafted and created. It's more of like, how much money is this, lemon going to squeeze us, right? How much juice are we going to get out of this lemon, basically? So,
yeah, it's sad. Pat? And
I think you're talking, but you.
What's that? Oh, I was going to say, and the two games I even mentioned take it a step further. There's no microtransactions,
right?
Baldur's Gate 3 and Expedition 33 have no microtransactions. No microtransactions. Relatively, what you pay for the full game.
Yeah. What they do offer that seems to be missing on almost every other game now is a good time, a story, fun, an experience, not just running around and shooting. And I love a shooter.
Time. Don't call EA.
No, definitely not.
It's a lot of the newer games today is just like how much money I can get out of the consumer is really what it is.
Wring that rock dry, man. Wring it dry.
How many dollars can I make by spending pennies?
And the ones in the games that, like Shane said, I enjoy a shooter now and then and stuff like that. So I'm not like one of those people that don't play those games, right? Mm-hmm. I play those games as well. But the ones that I truly enjoy and truly love are the ones that you can tell that the developer had a lot of passion and love for crafting. Yep. And the other ones that are like Apex Legends or Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever, those are just fun if you want to like play something you've played a million times.
They're mass produced, right? They're the mass produced, like there's a new one every year.
Right.
Yes. Mass produced, over processed game.
Yeah. And
it's
that's
like when you go out to a restaurant, like sometimes you like to go to the fancy restaurant and eat sometimes, but then, sometimes you just go for that McChicken.
Sometimes all you do is for McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Feel like eating those meat curtains at Arby's. But see, me personally, I love a good shooter like Call of Duty storylines. Now I'm just talking purely, just a story game to play.
Yeah. I like that.
I love those because I don't have to think. I can just go and I can just brainwash myself. Just
it's like a good action movie, when you go to the movies, you watch a super action movie. You just turn your brain off and watch people beat up.
What was the story about? Don't have a fucking clue, but you see that
guy snap his neck.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Marvel movies. That's what Marvel movies used to be good at. Just taking your mind away, and that's what a good shooting game should do. Now, there's some shooter games that have fun stories and good stories, but a lot of games like Clair Obscura and that one will be brought up a lot over the next several months because it really brings back what made games great when I was younger. Especially in RPG, the character design, the combat, the turn base, the world is just it's old, new again.
It bucks the current trend, which is a breath of fresh air.
Which is exactly because the only time you really get a turn-based game anymore is from a franchise that's still been around for the last 30, 40 years. I mean, Final Fantasy got rid of that crap. I think 13, is that right, Nick? That pretty much got
13 had kind of like a hybrid system in it, but it was still turn-based.
And it didn't hold up at all. I went back to replay it. The story and everything is still really fun, but the combat is atrocious in it now. So, but passion is something you can feel in a good game. And even if the game is really not your cup of tea, you can still feel when, they worked hard on it and they cared about what they were doing and they really, they put their heart, sweat, and tears into it. If it ain't your game, but you can still feel that. And they don't do that at EA. They don't do that at Ubisoft. They barely do that, I think, at Square Enix anymore. I'm really not liking where the gaming industry has gone. But then you get, I always point out Nick. Nick always finds really neat games to play that are made by smaller development companies. Yep. And I think that's what maybe the gaming industry needs to start looking at. Go a little cheaper, go a little smaller, go a little better.
And Nick, how dare you say video games are art? They're there to make those corporations billions. That's not art. It's a money generating revenue
it's a money machine.
Yeah.
It's a casino.
It's a casino.
That's like saying porn is art. But
yeah, I mean, and I agree with I mean, Expedition 33 is a perfect. It's art in true form, technical and artistic sense. So audio, video, storytelling. It's like one of those games we haven't had in a very long time. And they could have easily asked for $60, $70 for the game, and they only asked for $50.
Yep. Yeah, I think so far it is well worth that $50 so far. Nothing has let me down. And like I said, every moment I've played this game, it gets better and it gets better and it gets better.
And they have good voice actors. Andy Serkis is in there, and Ben Starr.
Yep.
The main character really great.
The main character looks just like Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter kid. He does. Don't tell me he doesn't look like the Harry Potter kid all grown up.
He got all grown up.
Like you're a hairy wizard in a new world.
But, the voice acting is really good. They did a really good job with that. Really great characters and everything like that. But again, I mean, essentially going back to that's what games like that are what gamers fell in love with.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day and stuff, and why we love this genre and these types of games and stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's just kind of like movie buffs, movie buffs love those artistic type of movies, right? The ones that they feel the director put a lot of love and passion and writing, the writers and everything like that into, but they also love, watching Chuck Norris beat a guy down with a with his fists or whatever, or just looking at him. Everybody likes that. Everybody likes a good fight movie or action movie as well as these serious stuff. So it's fine if you have a combination of both, but these bigger publishing houses like EA, Activision, and Ubisoft and things like that, they don't let their development teams. It doesn't seem like they let them, do that type of stuff. They want them to make these big budget titles, and then when they don't, they shut them down. Like Ubisoft is a great example with the Prince of Persia game. I felt like that game, that development crew put a lot of love into that. Like they really wanted to work hard to make a really cool, like Metroidvania type of Prince of Persia game. And Ubisoft said no. And that game was from Ubisoft, and I hate most of what Ubisoft puts out nowadays, but that was probably one of the best games they'd put out in a long time, I felt like. And they're like, nope, got to shut that shit down.
Yeah. They had to kick them all out the door. Afterwards.
The game was so good. Pat loved it.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's a platformer. I mean, it was one of those games that
it has aspects that I don't like, right? Makes you retread previous areas and stuff.
Yeah,
and
like Metroidvania is not a big thing for Pat and then platforming and stuff like that. But even he was like, no, this game's good.
It's great. Yeah, I loved it.
Yep.
Good put down.
And because Nick was happy, they poo-pooed all over it.
Yeah. They said, no, it needs to be another X-Defiant or.
Yes, exactly. I've said this. It seems like I say this on every news article that comes out. I hate the direction the gaming industry is going. I absolutely loathe it. And this is just another reason to hate it. So I don't know.
And you guys were mentioning the voice actors for Claire Obscure. I didn't realize Charlie Cox was the voice for Gustav.
Really?
Daredevil.
Yeah,
Daredevil. Yeah.
You didn't know he was British?
Well, I didn't know that he was the voice of Gustav. I didn't pick it up, but I bet I can go back and hear it now.
Did you know there are no
Andy Serkis
American
is the old man?
Renoir.
Renoir, yeah.
Yep. Did you know there are no American actors or actresses? Everybody's British and Australian. It's true. I just made that up.
Yeah, I bet you
French.
There ain't no such thing as French people.
It's just
a myth.
If whoever voices Eske is not French, then he's really good at faking that accent. Eske.
No, who voiced him?
I don't know. I can't find him.
He's that good.
The French version,
it looks
French
like
voiceovers probably, but
Maxine Cazorla. I probably butchered his name, but
we apologize for Pat.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pasta.
Maxence Carzola, yeah. So I don't know much about him, but I love SK in that game. That character and the voice actor for that is magnificent.
Yeah. Pat's got a man crush, and that's right.
It's a great character. I enjoyed that
really,
character.
It really, really is. It's a really fun character.
The dynamic that character brings into the game is just great.
Mm-hmm. It's just another reason to enjoy that game. It truly is. But anyways, you guys got anything else? Because I think we've dropped enough love nuggets on this thing.
No, I mean, hopefully EA will
quit saying it. They're never gonna do it, Nick. That's like scratching that lottery ticket. This could be the one.
This is
the next one's it.
This is your guys' Titanfall is your guys' good and evil.
Oh
yeah. They'll never make Titanfall.
Oh, that
3.
hurt, Pat. Pat.
Except for mine, still in development.
Yeah. Well, they were developing Titanfall 3, right? Or there were rumors they were.
Titanfall, yeah. So, but at least mine's not rumors. They keep saying it's alive. It may be on life support, but it's still alive.
It's somewhere.
It's in a vegetative state somewhere.
And the thing is like the next Battlefield looked like they were going back to like Battlefield 3.
A little root, yeah.
And I'm excited for that, but then I'm also afraid that EA is going to screw it up.
EA it up. Yep.
Yeah. Like they did with 2042. Now, 2042 is better than it was initially. It is, but it's still not what I wanted. Right.
Yeah. No, the problem with Battlefield 2042 is the things they did right, they did 2 years too late.
Yeah.
Exactly. But all right. If you guys got nothing else, thank you, everybody, for making it to the end here in our little bitch sesh about the latest news from this horrible company. But make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, the notifications button, all that good stuff. And again, thank you for listening. See ya.